Hey, this is Ashley. Welcome back to the Beginning Yoga series. This is video number 2, and today we're going to practice, again, just using a mat and a comfortable place to do some yoga. So, come on over, let's get into a comfortable cross-legged position. I have chosen half lotus. You're going to stack one foot on top of the other and just let the knees open up. If your hips are pretty tight, this might feel a little awkward. Just come into a Indian style. So go ahead and close your eyes. Let's tune into our breath. Remember last time we learned that foundational to yoga is keeping the breath moving while we're doing our poses. The breath is the essence of the pose. Good, so deepen the breath. Begin to elongate the spine. Good, creating space in the abdominal cavity. Good. You can even count your breath. If you find that it's hard for you to slow down your breathing, you can count your breaths in 4s and 3s. So inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Good, let's do that a couple more times. Inhale, let the belly button move away from the spine. Exhale, draw the belly button into the spine. So really opening up the abdominal cavity to deepen the breath. Good. So taking that breath with you, let's come onto all 4s. Good. Again, being conscious of the breath, conscious of your breathing. And let's do cat and cow. So inhale, tip the tailbone up to the sky, lift through the heart and the chin. Good, letting the belly drop towards the ground. Exhale, come into cat, round the spine, drop the forehead. Good. Tipping the tailbone down. Good. Inhale, come into cow. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, come into cat. Good. Do this a couple times at your own rhythm, your own breath. Good. One more time. Good. Widen the knees on the mat. Bring the toes together. Set the hips back. Child's pose. Remember, you're walking the hands out to the edge of the mat. Forehead comes down on the ground. And you're setting the hips down and back and reaching for the edge of the mat. Good. Breathe. Again, letting that deep belly breathing. As you inhale, that belly button's dropping to the ground. Exhale, let the belly button come up to the spine. Good. Inhale, come back up onto all 4s. Bringing the knees in line with the hips. This time, tuck the toes under. Lift the knees off. Downward facing dog. So remember, with down dog, you're in an upside down V. Good. The tendency is to shift the weight to keep the weight a lot in your hands. What I want you to do is draw the weight off the hands, shifting it into the hips and the heels. Now, what you might find is that your hamstrings are really tight and it's hard to get your heels down, as well as hard to keep the back straight. So what I want you to do is to bring the knees, bend the knees slightly, draw the hips back and up to straighten the back. Good, just keep the knees bent. Good. If you'd like a deeper stretch, you can drop the heels down. And don't worry, as time goes on and your hamstrings loosen up, this will become a lot easier. Good. Inhale, come into upward facing dog. You can drop the knees, bring the hips towards the ground. Good. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Tops the toes come down. Lift through the heart. Good. Breathe. And on your exhale, you come into child's pose. Bring the knees wide, toes together, set the hips back and down. Good, let's just keep doing that and put it all together. So inhale, bring the hands in line, or shoulders in line with the wrists, tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Good, draw the hips back and up, and keep the knees bent as you need to. Do your best to straighten out the spine. Good, by shifting the weight into the heels. Breathe. Good, inhale, upward dog, so drop the knees down, shift the hips forward, draw the shoulders away from the ears, lift through the heart. Good, exhale, child's pose. Knees wide, set the hips back, relax the forehead into the mat. Good, when you're ready, you come up onto all fours and come onto a seated posture. You're going to open up the feet, or open up the knees, and bring the feet together. So we're going to all have different degrees at which we're able to do this. So the easier the pose will be, the further your feet are away from your hips. Okay? You can grab around the ankles or the calves. Take a deep breath in, elongate through the spine. Good, and on your exhale, lead with the heart to bow forward. Yeah, you're going to find that point of tension at which your hips are screaming and they're like, don't do this anymore. So find that place. You can use your elbows to press the knees down. What I want you to do is just to close your eyes and come into your breath. So send your breath into that place in your hips that's really tight. If you find that you need a little bit of adjustment, it's just not tight, or it's not enough tension, enough stretch, bring the heels a little closer to the body. Good. Again, keeping the back straight as much as possible. Draw those knees towards the ground. Good, deep breath in. And now on your exhale, I want you to round the back and bow forward, bringing the forehead as close to the ground as you can. Good, again, you can continue to use the elbows to press the knees open. Good, and inhale, round up one vertebra at a time. So you're starting at the low back. Good, straightening up to the mid back. The vertebrae in between the shoulders, and then the neck, and then the crown of the head. Good. Keeping the knees nice and open, take a deep breath in, extend and reach through the crown of the head, reaching both arms up. And now on your exhale, bow over to the right, just like you're going over a beach ball. Good, and exhale, switch sides, reach up through that hand. Awesome. Good, and exhale, come back to neutral. Go and extend the legs straight out in front of you, and kind of shake out the knees, get those hips nice and loose. Good, pointing the toes, inhale, lift through the crown of the head, reaching the arms up, exhale, bow forward. So again, you're going to find that point of tension at which your hamstrings and your legs are probably freaking out and saying, we don't want to do this anymore. I want you to close your eyes, come into your breath. You can rest your hands on your feet. You can also grab the ankles or the calves and just let the forehead relax. Good. Inhale, come back up. Good. And shake off the legs one more time. Crossing the right foot over the left. So that left leg is going to be nice and straight still. I want you to bring this foot as close to the body as possible. Grabbing around the knee, extend through the crown of the head to straighten the spine. So I'm just going to turn sideways so you can see this. Good. So tendency is going to be to round the back. I want you to do your best to really use that tension against your leg. Draw the spine up, extending through the chest. Good. So you should feel a nice stretch in the hip here and even strengthening happening in the back. If you'd like to go a step further, you can bring the left elbow outside the right knee. So, opposite arm, opposite leg. Okay? You're You're going to bring that elbow outside the knee, take a deep breath in, and on an exhale, spinal twist. So you're just rotating that body open as much as possible. Everyone's going to have different degrees of rotation. Just remember that where your gaze goes, there your body will follow. So if you want to come a little deeper, try to peer around that corner. Don't forget to breathe. Good. And exhale, release. Let's switch sides. Left foot over the right. So again, you're tucking that foot as close to the body as possible. Take a deep breath in. You're going to grab the knee, pull the tension, or pull the knee against the chest, create some tension in that hip. Good. And if you'd like to come a step further, right elbow outside the right knee. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Good. And on an exhale, rotate that spine. Good. So you're breathing into the abdominals here. Get a nice stretch in the rib cage muscles. Good. Inhale and exhale. Release. You can unplug the legs. Come up onto the knees. We're going to take a fun little balancing pose just for kicks. So what I'd like for you to do is come onto the feet in kind of a semi-squat. Everyone's going to have, again, different degrees at which we're able to get down. So do your best to come into as much of a squat as possible. You can rest the hands forward on the ground. And let's lift the heels off and open up the knees. Okay, notice I'm on the balls of my feet. Okay, you want to shift the weight from the hands to the legs. So I'm just resting on the feet. On the feet here, yeah. Good. And bring the hands together as much as possible. This is a little hard. You can use the ground to balance and use the ground to support yourself. Full pose is going to look like this. Legs are opening up and you're resting the weight on the heels. Good. Balancing on the toes. Keep that core nice and tight. You can take any hand position that you would like. Good. And when you're ready, you can exhale and release. Great job. Go ahead and come onto your back. Good. Extend the left leg. Bring the right knee into the chest. Good. So that left leg is just going to relax onto the ground. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, I want you to let that bent knee fall across the body. So you're lifting the hip off the mat. In the opposite direction, you're going to extend the right arm and let your gaze turn over to the right. Good, so you're letting that bent knee just really open up. Now that right shoulder is going to want to lift off the ground and turn with your leg. I want you to do your best to come out of the pose a little bit and drop that shoulder to the mat. This is going to be key in getting the deepest achievement of this pose. Good. This is a nice spinal twist. This is great for stress relief, especially if you're having any GI pain, gassiness, or bloating. This is a really great way to relax the intestines. Good. Breathe into the spine. And when you're ready, you can switch sides. Again, bringing the left knee into the chest, extending the right leg. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, let the left leg fall across the body. That hip's going to come off the mat. Good. You're extending the left arm to the side and turn your gaze towards that arm. Good. Draw the shoulder towards the ground. Don't forget to breathe. Good. And when you're ready, you can come back to neutral. Bring both knees into the chest. And just kind of rock side to side. Give yourself a little massage in the lower back. Even this just kind of stretches the hips and the hip capsule. Good. And when you're ready, you can roll to one side, pressing back up, and come into the fetal position. The cross-legged position. Good. So, you can fold your hands in front of your heart. Go ahead and close your eyes one more time. And just kind of scan your body from head to toe. I'd like for you to tune into your breath, tune into your body, and just notice any difference in your how you feel after doing the practice. Good. One more deep, long breath in. And exhale. Release. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and good luck in continuing to achieve your goals. Namaste.